What's up, people? Little Big Robots back with another video, as you can see, because you're watching it right now. Today, another SnapShips. I thought I had finished all the SnapShips, but I had not. I had the spitter. I did not finish the spitter. I guess I never bought it. I think this is one of the second gen or the later, the later versions, models. I didn't get this one. I'll explain a bit about them real quick. If you know SnapShips and you know me, you know that this is one of the main lines. I collect 10 or 12 lines, I can't remember now. These go on my top shelf, so I have them all either assembled or I need to assemble because I've taken them all apart, played with them. So I've got a bunch of extras, so what I'm doing is I'm building at least one of each of the ship in its original configuration, and I'm putting it on the shelf. And this is the spitter. This spitter is evil, guys. There's a little cockpit there that you'll find a little dude in. I'll show that in a minute. This thing, as you know, let me go ahead and snap it off here, as the name implies. These brilliant, amazing little stands, which you can use for other things. So if you pull that off, you could paint that and use it for other creations or whatever. But basically, the stand is the top of each box. So each box has a stand, the bottom does not. So you can pull that off, save those, flatten the box into your, I keep all my boxes flattened in a big couple bins or whatever, so you can really store a lot that way. But so you can flatten that, keep that, and that's just the most genius thing. There's the lid as the stand, which I absolutely love. This is the model. I guess it's going to be a shooty shoot. What I'm going to do is here, I'm going to try to shoot these without losing them, because I always lose them. And they have a lot of those play features in SnapShips, and they're really cool. I think a kid would probably love the hell out of that. But for myself, I lose them, so I just leave them assembled in. It's obviously like an assault craft missile cruiser, so that's cool. Dog hair, thank you, dog hair. So it's, it flies up and shoots its missiles and flies away. It's as usual with SnapShips. Anytime you can get the biggest SnapShip in the world, and you're like, oh, wow. Here's some lore and stuff, by the way. You're like, wow, this is a big one. This is going to take me a while, and it takes no time at all, because they're just a fun, quick build. And look, they always give you an alternative build. Because the pieces are nice and big and chunky, you can do a lot of different things with them, easily. But that's what people like about these things, is you can just sit there. I, for example, have a huge bucket. Where's my huge bucket? Not a bucket, but a box, I guess you'd call it. Where are my SnapShips? I just pulled them out so I can start assembling. It's a massive thing here, and it's just piled, overflowing with parts. So I've got probably I probably got half of those to build, to put back together, put on my shelf. And it's just, you can just sit there and just play with stuff. You just play with it all day, and all of a sudden you realize, like, whoa, cool, I built this really neat, different variant of a ship or whatever. So you always get a poster. The latest ones, you see their newest builds, which of course are fantastic. I love that they're actual photos, not just art. And you always get a checklist as well. Now, this is not all of them. This is the newer line. So you'll want to keep probably a paper checklist or whatever. And then each one of them has been coming with this Uju tech. And it's like a little blind box, and you get some cool glowy in the dark parts that you can then assemble or add onto your ship. And what I like about these is they look really cool and kind of gooey. They look like you want to eat them. Look like gummy bears. You always get a couple of extra parts left over. I really like this one. It's cool. I like that they often build ones like this size that are not terribly expensive and don't take up too much room on your shelf. And then, of course, you just snap it onto your handy dandy little stand there, and then you've already got something that you can display it on. In my case, I'm going to take that, put it on the top of the shelf. With the other ones, I put Claw on one side and the good dudes on the other. What's the other dudes called? I always forget. So it's a really quick build. Got a few variants in there. You can do a lot of customization. Even on this, I bet you I have one or two little parts in the wrong flip or whatever, but it's not a big deal. Let me open. There you go. So there's your little pilot in there. He kind of sits in there sideways, but I'm cool with that. With some of these kits, you're going to get more than one. They only have a little crunch in their tummy, which makes sense. They're not super. Actually, I thought their arms. I thought each individual arm moved. No, they didn't. Okay, I think some of them do. But anyway, so you get a little guy. So I don't know what size is this, like 1/100 or something, 1/60. I can't remember. I think somebody told me before what scale they are. But you can see that that's going to give you an idea about what scale you're working with if you wanted to add anything else to it. But what's cool about SnapShips is even with that, they don't look super scaly. In other words, they don't look like they're forced into that scale. Do you know if that makes sense? Like you don't get stuff that, like this could be a small little spaceship, but you could also see this on the screen being like a big, you know, carrier or something. So it's a really flexible line in that way. Also, you can take, you know, any one of these kits, they all work together and build a ginormous. I built a space station one time. I had to stop working on it. It was getting too big. So you can just do a ton with these. I love this line, and I'm glad that I'm finally, with this one being assembled, the spitter, I am officially caught up and have collected all the SnapShips. Yay, yay. So that means I will display them. I will possibly do a final roundup video about the entire line, about how much I love it. And then I don't know if I'll pack them away or not, because when I'm done with the line, I tend to pack it away to make room on one of my 3, and I'm keeping it to 3 shelves so that I can move on to another line. But these are so good. I would not be surprised if, and I think they've already talked about it, they will eventually go on and create more waves of kits, and I hope so. Fantastic company. You can also join their Discord, talk to the developers all the time. They have contests. They're just a really neat company, and I'm glad I finally finished the line with the spitter by Wemco. So go pick it up. They're dirt cheap. Not really. They're not expensive line to collect, but you can find them on Amazon. A lot of people go to Play Monster Direct. Just check it out. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.